So, what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is other Ryan here.
And today we actually have a very speculative video for you all. And this one is about the image on scottgames.com and how it might possibly hint towards Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
But before we jump into this video, we have a few things to announce.
Me and other Ryan have actually opened our own separate gaming channels, and you guys are actually going to see the links where you can visit our channels on the screen right now. So these videos will, of course, or should I say channels will open in separate tabs, so you guys won't have to worry about closing this video down after. And that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to be uploading pretty occasional content to both of them. And yeah, if you enjoy the games that we play, feel free to subscribe. And now on that note, let's go straight back to the topic of this video.
So basically, many people theorise that the hat we see on scottgames.com, that's been on the website for about 2 weeks now, has a secret message in it.
Yeah.
And that message being a secret 4 within the beams of light in the top left hand corner.
Yeah, now actually I think after a couple of people pointed this out, if you do look carefully enough you can actually see it. However, I don't entirely believe that this promotes the idea of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, because I think this is almost too coincidental of Scott, isn't it? It's kind of typically when he advertises his games with a sequel, he won't make it so subtle. He'll try and really advertise it. And,
that's what I mean, yeah.
Make sure the community knows that there's definitely a sequel in store. But I don't know, I think this 4 that we can see, or should I say others can see, is probably a little bit too speculative, and I don't think we can really confirm a sequel based just upon this solely.
Yeah, and if you can't see it, if you put it into a Photoshop or any kind of picture editing program, just put the curves on it and brighten it up and it becomes a bit more apparent, but only slightly apparent.
Yeah, I think the main way people actually discovered about this supposed 4 existing was, I think it was in Microsoft Paint. I think they dropped the image into Microsoft Paint and they clicked the fill on where the colours were a bit darker and it seemed to outline a 4. Yeah,
but, you know, like you said, Scott usually is he likes people knowing that a new game's coming out. Like, for example, in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the very early stages of teasers, it was an offline symbol, and I believed it said offline for now in the bottom left-hand corner, and there was eventually there was a 3 in the bottom right-hand corner. So yeah, Scott likes to announce that there is a new game coming out, but you know, this is just a bit too cryptic for Scott, in honesty.
Yeah, I think a large portion of what's starting to actually, I wouldn't say corrupt, but I'd say influence people's decisions on the 4 supposedly being there, is actually based upon the fact that a lot of people have started to actually edit kind of these images, haven't they? I think as well some people have edited the Steam text. It's making a lot of people be misled. And scottgames.com, excuse me, he actually states now that Scott himself is a parent of most of these sort of occurrences happening, this phenomenon. And he pretty much discourages people to not believe it. So guys, just please solely take your kind of any evidence that is presented from scottgames.com or the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 official Steam page. I think any other external evidence, or say images, shall we say, it probably won't be 100% legit. And I think, yeah, you guys should definitely be careful with what you choose to believe.
Yeah, Scott Games, when this image first came up, there was no text like there was before saying, don't believe everything. I only have, you know, the Steam page and this website. So yeah, like you said, he had to only update it a couple of days ago, actually announcing this again, because obviously it got to a point where he thought, right, I've got to stop this now.
Yeah, kind of
ridiculous.
Yeah, kind of make sure that too, because I think a lot of people were actually believing this, weren't they?
Yeah, well, there's some reasons against, and I guess there are some reasons for this as well.
Yeah, and these reasons for this, they're actually not going on nothing, you know, guys. These ones are actually going to offer legit and fairly kind of obvious points as to why there might actually be a sequel on the way, however long it may be.
Yeah, so the main reason is the newspaper we get at the end of night 6, which is the neutral ending.
Yeah.
And that's basically saying that any items that were left will be sold off at an auction.
Yes, and it's just the way the newspaper kind of briefs over the whole topic. I mean, if Scott wanted to kind of close the series off, or the franchise should I say, it's, you know, he'd try and really cut ties, really explain in the newspaper that everything was destroyed. I don't know, maybe it'd say something like the Fazbear Entertainment is looking to never return again, or the items auctioned off will be locked away or something. That would kind of confirm the fact that there would not be another game coming, you know, for all of us guys who are fans of the Five Nights at Freddy's series.
Another thing that backs up that this may be another game coming out is that in the background of the image we see on the newspaper, we can see Springtrap lying down on its side.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I would say it's eyes open, wouldn't you? It's kind of looking directly in the direction of the camera. And, you know, guys, this alone kind of makes me think that there can't be an end to the series just yet. I mean, as we kind of know, or as at least the minigames kind of introduced us to, Springtrap was a very prominent force in what looks to be the whole Five Nights at Freddy's series. Now, for Scott to show him in the newspaper at the end, which actually proves the fact that he did successfully get out of the fire because he does not look much more withered than he did before, it definitely means that Springtrap is still alive.
Yeah, definitely, and this could, coming back to the Scott Games image, this could back up the point that maybe this hat was sold at an auction as well.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, the way the light's kind of fixated on it, the floor doesn't look dirty, does it? It looks kind of like quite a clean floor, and I mean, if you'd imagine this hat was actually in a place where there was a large fire, the floor would be absolutely disgusting, and to be honest, the hat looks quite spotless, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's been cleaned off by anyone who bought it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if someone wanted to auction off relics like this, I'd definitely want them to sell for the highest price in a kind of clean state. So it does leave a lot of questions, guys. Why would this hat be under this light, especially in the middle of the spotlight? It's going back to what we said at the start. Could this be the end or new beginnings?
Yeah, it's one of those really. It's very speculative at the moment, but going off my own tangent, I believe that, you know, if there was a fourth game to come out, we need to think of where the location would be, and I thought maybe, you know, the spotlight, maybe it would be like a museum if they're sold off, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think as well what kind of backs this up is the fact that, you know, the way the phone dude talks about the whole situation.
Yeah,
he speaks very much so that this was a childhood kind of memory, and it was actually, well, you know, if they're actually making an entertainment thrill seekers ride, Fazbear's Fright, then it kind of shows that Five Nights at Freddy's was a very popular franchise. Now, that actually leads me to think, could these animatronics actually be placed within some kind of museum, as you say? And it's kind of like we're like a night guard in a museum. Nights at the museum.
Yeah, and we play as Ben Stiller.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
Night at the Museum 4, guys. Out
but
soon.
Can you imagine that? Just thinking about that, like a night at a museum, that would be amazing.
You know, that would actually be possibly one of the greatest ways this game series could actually go right now, and it would actually make almost 100% sense as to why that would happen, doesn't it?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, I mean, a museum, it could be filled with all of these relics, as the phone guy says, there's a lot of them around, and, you know, it kind of makes sense, as you say. It could be like some kind of video game-themed museum, or it could actually be a museum, maybe a small one, that's solely dedicated towards kind of like the Five Nights at Freddy's kind of, what would you call it? The establishments that have existed over the years, and the massive story that's actually came from it.
And maybe this could explain Golden Freddy. He could come back. Like we said that maybe there's two purple guys. What if this, you know, Springtrap was still here, and the other purple guy is trying to release him, say. That's just completely speculative, but he dresses up as Golden Freddy to come in. That would be absolutely crazy, but that's complete speculation, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, with the kind of ending Scott's given us as of now, it doesn't answer any questions as to whether the game's finished, or whether the game is about to start with a new series, so Five Nights at Freddy's 4, for example, because the image it's one of those images which is kind of in the middle of a crossroads, isn't it? It can go one way or the other, and both ways kind of look evenly matched, shall we say, in terms of it could be the end, or it could actually be a teaser for a new game coming out over the next possibly year or even months.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay then, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this pretty intense discussion over the image that has existed on Scott's website for quite a while, and also some of the things in the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 game that might actually hint towards another sequel. Or it might even be a prequel saying that. So yeah, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this discussion. Be sure to comment your own ideas down below, and we'll also give them all a read. So thank you for watching the video, guys, and we hope to see you on the next video.
Goodbye, guys.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?